Question 1. Mathematic Society of SMK Maju Seremban have been organised a trip to Pusat Sains Negara Kuala Lumpur. The distance from Seremban to Pusat Sains Negara is 80 km. Okay, the first point is departs from SMK Maju at 7:30 am by bus. So looking at the graph, 7:30 am should be the time them departing from SMK Maju. And then breakfast at R&R Seremban at 8 am with distance travelled 25 km from SMK Maju. From SMK Maju and then 25 km. This and then they said at 8 am. So here should be here. So this is their spot at R&R Seremban. Okay, then the third point to continue the journey to Pusat Sains Negara at 8:30 am. So the duration between 8 to 8:30 am is 30 minutes. Those 30 minutes are the time they were at R&R Seremban. Okay, then arrive at Pusat Sains Negara until 1 p.m. 1 p.m. should be the time them leaving. So looking at the graph, here should be the time them arriving, and 1 a.m. should be the time them leaving. So between 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. should be the time they were at Pusat Sains Negara. And then the last point, go back and arrive at SMK Maju at 2:30 p.m. Okay. So them departing from Pusat Sains Negara to SMK Maju is 1 p.m. here, back to 2:30. The question, the graph below is an incomplete distance time graph for the group journey of SMK Maju. A, complete the distance time graph. From the points above, each and one of them have points on the graph except the last one. Okay, so the last one is go back and arrive at SMK Maju at 2:30 p.m. Okay, the second to last points said arrive at Pusat Sains Negara until 1 p.m. So 1 p.m. here, there should be the time when they're leaving from Pusat Sains Negara to SMK Maju. And then go back and arrive at SMK Maju at 2:30 p.m. So here from here and just go to 2:30 p.m. And this is the complete distance time graph. Okay, question B. From the graph in A, calculate the rate of change of distance in the first 0.5 hour. So rate of change of distance is average speed, and 0.5 hour is 30 minutes. So just write the formula for average speed. Average speed is equals to total distance over total time. Okay. It said calculate the rate of change of distance in the first 0.5 hour. So from the graph, right? Okay, so from the graph, in the first 0.5 hour is supposed to be between 7:30 to 8 a.m. So what were they doing? From the graph, 7:30 to 8 a.m. is they were at 25 km. They arrived at the R&R stop. So ignore that. So 25. So the total distance is 25 km over total time is 0.5 hour. Then do the equation is equals to 50 km over h. And this is the answer. Question 2, Roman. Calculate the speed in km h-1 from R&R to Pusat Sains Negara. Speed is equals to distance over time. Okay, distance over time. So find the distance from R and R to Pusat Sains Negara. The distance, look at the graph. We know that this is the R and R from the statement, and this is Pusat Sains Negara. See, statement 2, breakfast at R and R Seremban at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. With distance traveled 25 km from SMK Maju and arrive at Pusat Sains Negara until 1 p.m. So looking at the graph, this should be Pusat Sains Negara. Okay, Pusat Sains Negara. Okay, so the distance is 25 km to 80 km. So subtract to find the distance. Km 25 km equals to 55 km. So this is the total distance from R and R to Pusat Sains Negara. Now to find the time. The time should be between 8 a.m. until 9:30 a.m. So 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. is equals to 1.5 hour. Okay, then put these two answers into the formula. So the speed is equals to 55 km over 1.5 hour. It's equals to 36.67 km h negative 1. This is the answer. Okay, question C. State the duration of time in hour the bus is stationary at Pusat Sains Negara. So, stationary at Pusat Sains Negara is between 9:30 a.m. until 1 p.m. So, we just write 9:30 a.m. until 1 p.m. is equals to how many hours? Okay, then just subtract. Using this equation we learned when we were at primary school. Hours over minutes. Okay, 1 p.m. is also 13 in 24 hours. And 9:30 a.m. is 9 in 24 hours. 9 over 30. Okay. 0 cannot subtract with 30 minutes. So, we borrow from hours and change it to 12 hours. And this 60. So, 60 minutes minus 30 minutes is 30 minutes. And 12 hours minus 9 hours is 3 hours. So, this is the answer. The answer is 3 hours and 30 minutes. This is the duration of time. And this is not the answer because it wants in hour. In hour. So, 30 minutes. 30 minutes divide by 60 because 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes. Okay, 30 minutes divided by 60 is equals to 0.5 hour. And then add with the 3 hours. It's equal to 3.5 hour. So this is the answer of the duration of time in hour the bus is stationary at Pusat Sains Negara. Okay, question D. What is the total distance? So the total distance here, Seremban to Pusat Sains Negara is 80 km. So from here to here is 80 km. Okay. When going to Pusat Sains Negara is 80 km, the distance going back from Pusat Sains Negara to SMK Maju is also 80 km. So 80 km times 2 is equals to 160 km. Okay, this is the answer. Question E. Calculate the average speed in kmh -1 for the whole journey. So average speed is equals to total distance over total time. Over total time. So total distance is 160 km and total time is between 7:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. So 7:30 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. is equals to how many hours? So we just use the same method as before. Hours over minutes. Okay. 2:30 p.m. in 24 hours is 14 hours and 30 minutes. And 7:30 a.m. in 24 hours is 7 hours and 30 minutes. So we minus 30 minutes minus 30 minutes is 0 minutes. 14 hours minus 7 hours is 7 hours. So this is the answer for total time. Total time is equals to 7 hours. 7 hours. So we put it in the formula. So the average speed is 160 km over 7 hours is equals to 160 over 7 over 7 over 7 km h -1, and this is the average speed for the whole journey. Question 2. The distance from Kuala Lumpur to Malacca is 120 km. Aaron rides a bicycle from Kuala Lumpur at 7 hours and headed to Malacca at 7 hours with a uniform speed of 30 km h -1 with a uniform speed. Ravi rides a motorcycle from Malacca at the same time with a constant speed, and they meet at 0800 hours. So it's a constant speed and both of them will meet at 0800 hours. Okay. The question A. Draw the graph showing the movement of Aaron and Ravi on the graph provided below. Okay, so the statement stated that Aaron rides a bicycle from KL at 7 hours. So he should be here. This is his starting point. And then he headed to Melaka with a uniform speed of 30 km h-1. So, this should be his road. This should be Aaron's road. Okay. And we put here Aaron. A-A-R. Okay. Sorry. Okay. And then Ravi rides a motorcycle from Melaka. So this is Ravi's starting point at the same time. So this is Ravi's starting point with a constant speed, and both of them will meet at 8 hours. So 8 hours is here in between. So they should meet here. This is Ravi's road, Ravi's movement. Okay, Ravi's movement. Okay, that's and this is the answer for question 2A. From the graph in A, at what time does Aaron arrive in Melaka? Okay. At what time does Aaron arrive from Melaka? Answering this question, we should use the speed formula because we have both the speed and the distance. Okay, so speed is equals to distance over time. Okay, Aaron's speed is 30 kilometers h-1. 30 kilometers h-1 equals to the distance from Kuala Lumpur to Melaka is 120 km. 120 km. We don't know the time. Okay, to find time, we have to divide 120 km over 30 km h-1. Time is equals to 4. So, Aaron arrived in Melaka from 7 hours. Within 4 hours, he should arrive within 4 hours. Okay, then to find at what time Aaron arrives in Melaka, we should use the method from before. Hours, minutes, the time he goes to Kuala Lumpur plus the 4 hours of his road trip. 7 plus 4 is 11. So he arrived at 11 hours. So this is the answer. Question 2, Roman. Calculate the speed in km h-1 of Ravi's motorcycle from Melaka to Kuala Lumpur. Okay. Speed is equals to distance over time. Distance over time. We know the distance, but we don't know the time. So we know that Ravi's speed is constant. So we'll be using his starting point, and that is at 7 hours, and his and Aaron's intersecting point, and that is at 8 hours within this line. We'll be using this to calculate his speed since it's a constant speed. Okay. His speed within their intersecting point is 7 hours to 8 hours is within 1 hour. Okay, and then we'll have to find the distance, and that is the starting point and at the intersecting point. To find the distance between those 2 points, we'll have to minus 120 km minus 30 km equals to 90 km. Ravi's speed should be 90 km per 1h equals to 90 km h negative 1, and this is the answer. Okay, question 3 Roman. At what time does Ravi arrive in Kuala Lumpur? This question uses the same method as question B first Roman. So since we have the speed and the distance from Kuala Lumpur to Melaka is permanent, that is 120 km, you only need to find time. So 90 km h negative 1 is equals to 120 km over time. Another reason why we're also using this method is because it is stated that Ravi's speed is constant. It is a constant speed from Melaka to Kuala Lumpur. Okay, so to find the time, as before, 120 km has to be divided by 90 km h negative 1. T is equals to 4 over 3 h. Okay, then 4 over 3 h times 60 is equals to 80 minutes. We'll use the method of adding time, hours, minutes, hours and minutes. Okay. His departure time is the same as Aaron's departure time, and that is at 7. At 7, so we'll use 0700 and adding with 00 80 minutes. So it's 7 hours and 80 minutes. But 80 minutes is more than 1 hour. 1 hour is equals to 8 minutes. 8 is equals to 60 minutes. So we'll have to minus this by 60 and add 7 by 1 hour. Okay, so the last answer should be 8 hours, and 80 minus 60 is 20. So the answer is 8 hours and 20 minutes. Ravi should arrive at Kuala Lumpur by 08:20 hours. So this is the answer to this question.